where it'll be Gibor SAHAKYAN of Poland versus Aronis Kolitsopoulos out of Greece, the U17 world champion. Not only that, the history maker, becoming Greece's first ever Greco-Roman world champion last year in Istanbul.
Incredibly impressive.
U17 world champion.
And now wrestling the seniors, you know what I mean? But this is what I say, recently, that's what's so nice to see him wrestling at the moment. You've got so many young guns coming up through the ranks who are really aiming for those high spots. You see, you almost see every tournament now, new names coming through, every European World Championships. Every time there's a new guy coming through, making a name for himself.
And I'll ask you this, what do you think is a prime age for an athlete? When do they reach their peak?
Well, for me, it depends also a lot on the weight class. Eric, you've got guys, for example, 130 kilos. These guys can go quite a lot longer. The lightweights, they have to stop a little bit younger. I think personally, when you start getting to that 26, 27 years old peak, I think round about there, you're in the best age category then to start. You know, you've got your full strength, you've been in the game long enough time, you've got the experience, you've got the mat time.
And in my opinion, 25 to 28,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
But also, not only, you mentioned weight class, but also style as well.
Yeah.
Freestyle, women's wrestling, I believe you don't see the success coming from those athletes as we see Kolitsopoulos pick up the 1 point for the inactivity. So he takes the 1-0 lead, but just look at Mijan Lopez of Cuba, for example, coming back in his mid-40s with the potential to win a 5th Olympic gold, unprecedented, never been done in our sports history. And there are rumblings that there's a potential that he could compete as early as the Hungarian ranking series event.
Yeah. This is what I mean, these heavyweight wrestlers, you know, the Greek wrestler here going for big, slid off. These heavyweight wrestlers, you know, it's a little bit slower compared to these lightweights. They're a little bit more explosive. I mean, they're strong as an ox, you know. These guys are built like tanks. But the movements and the big throws and the risks of being injured and the joints and everything doesn't take its toll as much as these, for example, 67 kilo guys.
Yeah.
So there, and they get a little bit long career in the sport.
Kolitsopoulos ended up had his chance on top. That's going to be one for SAHAKYAN. As SAHAKYAN gets to the 2-on-1 on that left side.
Yeah, drives his shoulder underneath and drives him out of the mat. SAHAKYAN also a few European medals to his name as well. He's
yeah, world bronze medalist back in 2021, but that was at 72 kilos.
Yes.
And this is the thing about the Olympic year.
Yeah.
When you look at the off years in terms of those 3 years where we don't have the Olympic Games, you see a lot of guys moving weight classes, trying to figure out where they want to go, up or down.
Well, that's it. It makes it interesting because you're stuck with two choices. I remember back when I used to wrestle, I was always at 61 kilos with European bronze medal at 61. The Olympic weight categories come out, you've got two choices. You go down to 57 kilo, but you have to lose a lot more weight and risk being tired in these first few matches, or you go to 65 kilos, where these guys are a lot bigger. So then it makes it difficult, and a lot of these guys do choose to go down, so then it's interesting to see how they do physically with the challenge of making this weight.
We head into the closing frame, or excuse me, we head into the closing seconds of the opening frame.
Yep.
1-1 is the score. SAHAKYAN picked up that late step out in period number 1 to grab the 1-1 lead on criteria. And you have to imagine he's going to get his shot on top in period number 2.
Yeah, all depends how you start. These first 15 seconds, 20 seconds in these matches are critical when you're looking for that passive point. You need to stay active, you need to work your hands, you need to dominate the center. You can't be compliant and just wait and hope that your chance is going to come. You have to work. If he's smart and he just starts fast now, he'll get the passive, and he's very, very strong from the ground.
Let's talk about messages. In terms of both corners, SAHAKYAN has the lead. Not only does he have the lead, he has experience. And majority of the time you see experience win in these close matches. So what are you telling from a Greek corner and from a Polish corner? Let's start with the Greek corner. What are you going with?
Listen, you're young. You've got nothing to lose here. These guys are a lot older, a lot more experienced. You've got 3 minutes now. Let's just put everything into these 3 minutes. Don't think about the next fight, the fight after that. 3 minutes now, you've got to go. Try and put some points on the board. Try and stay active. From the Polish corner, you know, you've got the experience. Take your time. You've got a good chance of getting this passivity now. And when you're on the ground, that experience starts working out. You see now the passive's coming now. SAHAKYAN is very strong on the ground. He's very explosive. Once he gets his hands locked, especially in his front headlock position, you need to pay attention if he does try and go for that.
SAHAKYAN starts right side. Now he comes reverse lift.
Underneath. Yeah, 2 points there. That's a right call. Didn't get him enough in the air to be able to throw him for the 4.
Let's take a look at this replay. It looks like they're going to go leg foul, but
yeah,
to me, I feel like that was unintentional.
Yeah, I mean, he was hanging upside down, so to give a leg foul in that position is a bit harsh on the Greek wrestler right there.
But in terms of with the challenge coming from the Greek corner, for me, what I look at is it worth it? You go down, does it matter to be down 4-1? And potentially, if you lose the challenge, you go down 5-1.
5-1, yeah.
Is the difference really 3 or 4? Does it matter?
Some coaches would say yeah, some coaches would say no. Personally, in this position, his leg, if you see his foot was stuck on the mat, he couldn't pull his leg backwards to be able to avoid contact in that position. So for me, challenge lost. So yeah, what you said, Eric, 1 point will go to the SAHAKYAN now.
And John has tied up the match 6-6.
So at the end of the challenge from the Greek corner, SAHAKYAN does pick up the 2 points for the leg foul and the 1 point for the failed challenge. So now it leads 5-1. Referees come together. What'd you see here?
I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't see what they would be. What was worthy of a meeting? All the referees get back to their positions. Now it's time to put those running shoes on.
Yeah, now we need to start
going.
moving, exactly. 1 minute 35 seconds on the clock.
And the Greek corner is going to ask for passivity, but they're not. With 90 seconds left here in this bout, they're not going to get it.
With the 5-1 lead as well. And this is where experience comes into play now for SAHAKYAN. He just needs to take his time, demand the center, stay low, keep his arms nice and locked in. No mistakes.
And the winner of this bout in the 8th finals will meet Sweden's Olin, with the potential to either meet Diego Chikadze or Mihai Mehut. Mihai Mehut, European champion from a few years ago. Diego Chikadze replacing Ramaz Zoidze, which is a shocker to me from the Georgian corner, but they've had a few of those changes here at the European Olympic qualifier that head scratchers, but they must see something in the training camp that we didn't.
Yeah, you never know what's going on behind closed doors in the gym. Maybe somebody's picked up a little bit of a knock, a little bit of an injury. You never know. But those countries that, when you've got so many talent coming through like that, you've got a nice choice of people. You're not always lying it on one wrestler, you know?
Looks like SAHAKYAN's going to hold on in this qualification match here at 67 kilo Greco-Roman. SAHAKYAN with the 5-1 victory, moves into the 8th finals. Solid win by him.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show the experience in that in that fight. Was able to take his time, stay composed.
I will say one thing. Through 3 matches, the wrestler who has scored first has lost.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah. Yeah.